Ohanyogozainah, everybody! It's so nice to meet you today. My name is Hannah Rite. I'm your favorite virtual lavender idol from Akibaland, and I'm very sorry for the delay because like my power went out and I had to go fix that, but we're all up and running now, and we should be all good to go now. Yeah. So how is everybody today? How is your day been? Cause I've been doing pretty fantastic. Delay, I just got here. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I was supposed to stream it too. But then my power went off, so I ended up streaming a few minutes after too, but yeah, I should be all good to go. And yeah, don't mind my voice. I literally just got out of bed. I got a Switch 2 last night. Yes, I was about to talk about that. How was the Switch 2 for y'all, everybody? I wasn't able to get a Switch 2 because I don't really have the funds for that right now. And I'm not asking for any crowdfunding. I'll take care of that myself. I'm gonna stream Mario Kart World once you're done with this. Awesome. I hope you enjoy that, actually. I do have something that I want to do. Excuse me for a bit. I need to go do something. I'm gonna go grab Maya and she'll watch you while I do that. Come on, Maya. Come on, Maya. Okay. There you go. All right, awesome. Okay, now, Maya's going to spend time with you while I go do my thing. It'll be a bit, but I will be right back. Okay, that's a lot better. So, how's my new look, everybody? Yeah, this is my fresh new look. I've been really excited to show it to you guys for a bit, and I'm glad that I'm finally able to show it to you. Has Maya been eating some burgers lately? Yeah, actually. She had a burger yesterday. She thought it was really good. Oh my god, textures, yes! I was actually able to redo all of my textures. Well, most of them at least. I still have my eyes though, but I was able to redo all of my textures, like my hair, my skin, my outfit even. It has a bunch of shading textures, and it's all been drawn over, and yeah, I was able to make the most of it. Yeah, my your hair is wet. Yeah, I guess you can say that. I did take a shower after all. But yeah, this is actually gonna be the new look that I'll be putting on my channel from now on. I'd say it looks really nice. It looks less like your average V-Roid model and more so an original creation. I mean, it's still a V-Roid model, but it still looks nice. Looks less anime-esque and more video gamey. Dig it! Awesome! I'm glad you see that. I think someone said that I was doing cell shading later down the line, but I don't know if you'd consider this cell shading. Especially since I don't really look too much like a 2D character. I mean, I still look like a 3D model, but I look less like your average V-Roid model and more so an original creation. But yeah. Oh, that's a nice plate of chicken tenders you got on your desk. These aren't chicken tenders, these are chicken wings. Also, a few weeks ago, when I went to a convention, I went to a booth where they were selling old games, and when I was checking them out, I noticed that they were selling Kamen Rider action figures. Yeah! I almost bought Kamen Rider figures at a con once, actually. I don't think I ever mentioned that, but back in 2022, I went to a convention, and like, I would, like, the dealer's room was so huge. It was so gigantic. I mean, the con itself was pretty big, but like, nothing would have prepared me for how big that for how big the dealer's room was gonna be, because apparently the seller at the con went to Power Morphicon and even got to meet the actor who played the Red Ranger from Go Onger. Oh, that's awesome! Probably going to Anime Expo in Los Angeles next month. Successfully got a ticket. Yo, you got a ticket. That's so awesome. I really hope you enjoy it. Speaking of anime conventions, I actually do plan on, I don't know if I'll be able to like actually make it, but I do plan on going to Anime Impulse in Orange County. I'm specifically talking about Orange County because I already have another trip planned. So I can't really go to the Bay Area Anime Impulse, unfortunately. But I'm pretty excited to go to that. But speaking of like the dealer's room, right? There was like this booth that was selling some like anime goods. And at one point they were selling a I think it was a Kamen Rider 01 avatar, a 01 action figure. I think it was 01. I don't know. It was definitely a Kamen Rider from the Reiwa era, which like I kind of fell out of the fandom just before like the Reiwa era started, so I'm only really familiar with the Heisei Kamen Riders. So my apologies if, like, I don't really... So my apologies if I don't really, like, remember any of their names. But I saw a figure of a Reiwa Kamen Rider, and I almost bought it. But I decided to wait until the last day, and by the time the last day rolled around, not only did I not have enough money to buy it, but it was also already sold, so I'm just like, man, it's always such a terrible idea. It's always such a terrible idea to, wait until the last day sometimes, especially when it's, like, a heavily sought out item. Like, sure, don't spend all your money on the first day, but, like, even then, it really do be like that. Also, Sony had the big guns for the State of Play Arc systems is making a Marvel fighter. Oh, so like Marvel versus Capcom, something on the lines of that, but just Marvel and no Capcom. Marvel Superheroes Token, that's gonna be awesome. Ah. You know, I've actually seen like quite a few Marvel games be like really like mainstream right now. Like, I've heard a lot about Marvel Rivals, and I've even seen some VTubers play Marvel Rivals. One VTuber, okay, I'm not gonna say their name, but like one VTuber that I like, he did 2 Marvel Rivals streams where basically the end goal of those streams is to get one specific emote, and that's the Venom twerking emote. Because that's a good ambition that we should all have. We should all have the ambition to, at some point, if we play Marvel Rivals, at some point we need to get the Marvel twerking emote. We need to get the Marvel twerking emote. We need to get the Venom twerking emote. Marvel Rivals is peak. Invisible Women drove the internet insane. Oh man, I don't really know. I'm not really too familiar with like the Marvel universe, but Marvel Rivals looks really fun. I've seen a lot of my homies. I've watched a lot of my homies play Marvel Rivals. Venom didn't have the bakery. He had the whole baked goods history. Oh my god. Like for the regarding Marvel Rivals, I do have I do want to play it sometime. And imagine if like I ended up grinding for the Venom twerking emote as well. Mainly because I think I think twerking is funny. Cause my sense of humor is broken. Venom didn't have the big oddly enough, a comic shop I went to was selling a Kamen Rider Revice figure. I even asked where they got that. They told me that their director gave it to them. Ooh. Distributor. Not director, distributor. But that's really cool. I think that's really cool. Yeah, the Revice figure. Oh, I think it might have been Revice. Yeah, it might have been Revice. Not 01. It was probably Revice. Yeah. Let me real quick. I think it was. No, it wasn't Revice. It was someone else though. Wait, no, it was Revice. That's right, cause like Revice had that one rival. And I forgot their name. Was it light blue and pink? Yeah, it was light blue and pink. Yeah. It was Revice. I forgot the name. And, I forgot the name of the Kamen Rider specifically, so I had to, like, I had to look them up, but kind of glad that I did. The one who raged at the computer. I don't know. I haven't really seen too much of Revice, so I have no clue. There's a meme from a character named Daiji who threw a monitor in a fit of rage. Is it like that one GIF where the panda where like the panda is on the computer and then starts slamming its keyboard and destroying an entire office? Is it similar to that? Basically, people made memes of that. Yeah, sounds about right. Speaking of Kamen Rider, something I don't really get is why is Pretty Cure not a part of the Superhero Time lineup? I mean, by technical... Oh, hear me out on why I think that. Magical girls are, by technicality, superheroes, right? They're treated like superheroes in the anime universe. Like, specifically, like, the magical girls like Sailor Moon and Pretty Cure and Tokyo Mew Mew and stuff like that. There are some other, like, magical girls that don't fight. I thought it was... Damn! I'm sorry that you found out after hearing from me that technically they're not a part of Superhero Time. Only Super Sentai and Kamen Rider are a part of Superhero Time. Though something that sucks though is like Pretty Cure at this point might as well be a part of Superhero Time because only Pretty Cure, Kamen Rider and Super Sentai are a part of the Nichi Asa Kids Time block that was in the Nichi Asa Kids Time block that was a part of the TV Asahi TV channel. I mean there is Crayon Shin-chan and Doraemon, I think, that air on the Saturday before. Saturday evening kids time, I don't know if they're technically a part of Nichi Asa Kids Time, but they even have overly edgy versions. Fake cough, Madoka, fake cough. I wouldn't really call Madoka edgy. As someone who watched, like, the entire anime, other than the movies, I haven't watched the movies yet. I wouldn't really consider it edgy, more so grim. Cause, like, it's not really dark for the sake of being dark. The story is good, but it's not really dark for the sake of being dark. Like, there have been a lot of magical girl anime that aired after Madoka Magica that just was dark for the sake of being dark. Because they were probably because they were trying to profit off of, like, how successful Madoka was. Speaking of Doraemon, you know that crappy Ryan's World movies? The company that did the animated segments were the same people who animated Doraemon. Yeah, they were. I remember I watched an entire, like, review of it, and, like, The animated bits are actually super good. Like, say what you want about the Ryan's World movie, but like the animations, they are so good. And and like I really like when Western franchises get turned into anime. Like there was this one like Tom and Jerry spinoff that recently got animated by a Japanese animated company, so that's really good. They even animated The World Ends With You's anime adaptation. My soul hurts this day. I'm sorry. Dark magical girl anime was to the 2010s what dark edgy superheroes were to the 90s. Yeah, sounds about right. Speaking of the 90s, I'd like to say that Sailor Moon probably revolutionized magical girl anime. Magical girl anime would not be what it is today if it wasn't for Sailor Moon. I will always give... I'm not really into Sailor Moon, but I will always give it credit for revolutionizing magical girl anime. I feel like if it wasn't for Sailor Moon, Pretty Cure wouldn't have been nearly as successful as it is today. Honestly, I think the idea that Toei Animation had when they were initially beginning Pretty Cure, when they were initially like animating Pretty Cure, was like giving like the anime like fist fighting scenes, because like the anime that aired prior to Pretty Cure, which was called Ashita no Naja, apparently it flopped horribly. Apparently it flopped horribly back then, because I feel like the premise is a bit too boring for kids, as far as I know. And that's probably why it flopped. Speaking of Sailor Moon, ever heard of the live action series? The Japanese one, not the Lost live action pilot. No, I don't really do any live action adaptations because, yeah, I don't like live action adaptations. They're not very good in my opinion. But actually, since we're here now, I might as well speaking of, we're here to play Bejeweled, so I might as well boot it up now. Because this is a Zatsujeweled stream after all, and the whole reason why we started here, instead of, like, going into Bejeweled was because, I wanted to show off my new look and, like, do a bit before we did that. Okay. Okay, we're in. We are so in. Okay. Gonna move myself over here. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. Gonna make sure. Yeah. Okay. Alright. It's Bejeweled time.
Welcome back.
Let's go! The Sailor Moon one was basically Super Sentai for girls. In fact, the actor who played Tuxedo Mask played a writer in Kamen Rider Hibiki. That's awesome! That is so awesome!
Go.
I forgot that I basically had, I basically abandoned a game the last Zatsujeweled because I was way too tired to actually, like, do a proper Zatsujeweled, so that's why it was so short. But at the very least, we're continuing where we left off, so that's good. I feel like if it wasn't for Sailor Moon, I'm pretty sure, like, magical girls who fight would have probably been almost unheard of. I mean, I'm pretty sure there were fighting magical girl anime prior to that. I think, like, Cutie Honey, Cutie Honey came out before Sailor Moon, but, like, Sailor Moon was what revolutionized those kinds of magical girls, not created. And he and Usagi's actors played two characters in Ryu's Soldier. Actually, speaking of, here's a fun fact for you, actually. So, Kira Black's voice actress, in Japan, Yoko Hona, she actually, when she was a kid, she actually played, like, a supporting role in Kamen Rider Black RX. I don't really remember what the scene was, but I do remember she did play a part in that. Which is really cool. One time I was playing Fire Emblem Warriors past midnight and Tiki asked me if I couldn't sleep. Damn, I'm so sorry. And then there's me staying up past midnight. It's completely normal for me because my sleep schedule is absolutely broken. And like it kind of also plays into the fact that when I was a teenager, I still had a bedtime, and I felt like crap because of it. When I was a young teenager, specifically, like 13 to 15, I had a bedtime, and I felt out of place because of it. Cause like it seemed like everybody else was able to stay up past midnight. But like looking back, and I really admired that because I wanted to because I also wanted to stay up for that long. But it did give me the advantage of being what most teenagers were not, and that was being a morning person. I was expected to be in bed at 10 p.m. throughout high school. Rarely was. I remember this one time when I was like 14 years old. I don't remember why or what happened, but like my mom went to bed completely forgetting to send us to bed. So me and my brother, we ended up staying up until 3:45 a.m. until my mom eventually found out that, hey, my kids are still up. That's weird. She ended up finding out about that, and she's just like, what are you two doing up at 3 in the morning? Get to bed. It's funny to think about, cause when I was a teenager, I would only sleep out of courtesy. If you told me to go to bed, I would go to bed, but If you never told me to go to bed, I would be up all night. I would literally be up all night. It would be an all-nighter, and it would literally take me until I crashed out to get me to sleep, if you didn't tell me to sleep. Whoa! Also, speaking of which, as a neurodivergent person, I've always had a lot easier time. Making friends online than in real life. Throughout middle school, I would stay up past 3 a.m. on weekends because the Mr. Men show was on Cartoon Network at that time. You know what? But if it means watching the Mr. Men show, staying up past 3 a.m. is always worth it. At least to me. It's always worth it. I don't care what anybody else says. I don't care what anyone else says. Staying past 3 a.m. is always worth it if it means watching the Mr. Men show on TV. Speaking of actually, with the whole like, yeah, I was talking about how I would only sleep out of courtesy. There was this one time, I came back from that Christian youth event. How we were driving back from that Christian youth event. It was incredible. Like, the trip there was incredibly fun. Well, sometimes it was. But, like, we just did a straight shot back. And, like, it was several hours long. And, like, during that time, everybody else in the van was, like, everyone else in the van was dead asleep. Meanwhile, I was just sitting there drawing. Cause like at around that time, I was a bit of a new Fire Emblem fan. I had just like gotten interested in Fire Emblem Awakening. And I remember I told my brother, "Hey, could you give me like an image of one of the characters there? I want to draw one of the characters like in a swimsuit while like laying on the beach." And like I was basing it off of like this one ending song from an anime that I used to watch at the time. And while I was doing that, right? I was doodling it, and I was drawing that picture. Excuse me. I was drawing that picture, and everyone else was just fast asleep. I remember When I got home, I hung it up on my fridge. I don't really remember where it's at now, unfortunately. And before you ask, no, it wasn't Crom. God, I remember, like, I remember being I remember, back when I was super into Fire Emblem Awakening, I just did not get the appeal of Crom whatsoever. I didn't understand why everybody and their mother was just non-stop simping over Crom. Like that thing was like, I was just like, I don't get it. Why is everyone so, why does everyone want to be Lucina's mother? I don't get it. Muriel is an underrated Awakening wife. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so true. She's, from what I've seen of her, she's like autism incarnate, and I love that about her. I wanted to, though in my first playthrough of Awakening, I wasn't able to get Donald because, when I tried to do his paralogue, right, I failed it horribly, and I wasn't able to get him because of that, and, like, I didn't really know that I could, like, reset the stage, so I could play it again, so I just kind of gave up in even trying to get him. Also, Gregor was just heavy from TF2. Wait, actually, did you guys know that I was able to meet Gregor's voice actor? I was. It was so fun. And I got to purchase an autograph from him. It was an autographed print of Gregor. Like, I specifically went to look at, like, no more moves. I specifically went to look for the, the Gregor print for him to sign. Though one of my funniest convention moments, actually, funniest convention moments was actually at a different con in Tennessee. And like the funny, and like the, and I was with a good buddy of mine, and we all, like, and like Rickon is said by fans to likely also be autism coded, which makes him like him even more. Oh God. I'll get to him in a moment, but like, I want to talk about this convention moment. This was incredibly funny because, while I was talking with, like, this buddy of mine on, like, what panels we wanted to visit, I noticed that, like, he was visiting the convention, and I was like, oh, shoot, I'll be able to meet him again. That's awesome. And, like, we went to so something that he does, right, in his panels, something that he likes to do is whenever someone shows up late, everyone just chant, like, he gets us all to chant, one of us, one of us, one of us. And sometimes, like, when multiple people show up, we're just like, two of us, two of us. So context, right? While I was joining the panel, right? When it was like, I think it was like when it was my turn to speak, I just said, "Hi, I'm from Arizona," and he's just like, "How did you get from here, from Arizona?" He was so confused. I feel bad for the poor guy. I feel bad. He was so confused, and I was like, "Well, I flew here." I can just see the confused look on his face as to why someone from Arizona managed to get to a convention in Tennessee. And I think it's so funny looking back. Did I walk? I would hope not. That would have taken me months on end if I were to walk from Arizona to Tennessee. That's not worth it. Gregor's voice actor also voiced a character from a cult JRPG called Shadow Hearts. Oh yeah, I think I might have seen him. I think I might have seen that as like a print option, but I don't really remember. I do know that a lot of people who did come to visit him were Kingdom Hearts fans. Cause he would talk about Zenmus a lot. And yeah, he would talk about Zenmus a lot, which is one of his roles that he voiced in Kingdom Hearts. And then meanwhile, my silly butt visited him because of frickin' Gregor. And I think it's like, additionally, right? I think it's nice to say that I was also able to, meet I was able to meet the voice actresses for both of the twins from Lucky Star. Yeah, he voiced Zenmus. That was why a lot of people was able to visit him. But yeah, I was able to meet both the voice actresses for the twins of Lucky Star. And I remember I specifically told them that Lucky Star was like a part of my childhood, and I really appreciated like their voice work as the twins. Cause I watched Lucky Star specifically with the English dub. When I was a kid, and I really appreciated their roles there. And like being able to meet both of them, like not at the same con, but like at two different cons. It was just great. It was so great. And actually at that convention, right, that I went to in Tennessee, at the convention I went to in Tennessee, I was actually able to meet a voice actress that was not a voice actress, but a voice actor, cause he was a guy. I was able to meet a voice actor that was on my bucket list to be able to visit. And, Zenmus, there's a name I haven't heard in a while. I hope I was able to bring out some good nostalgia within you. And like, funny enough, that voice actor, he used to be a Power Ranger. And I remember, speaking of, actually, no! No! Oh, God! I just remembered. Oh, God. No, I remembered this. Oh, God. I remembered this, like, blooper. These bloopers from, like, this anime that I got into this anime because of the bloopers. It was one of the, like, 2 anime that I got into because of the bloopers. And there was this one scene where one of the characters who he voiced, right? Yeah, Johnny Young Bosch. I was able to meet him. And it was a dream come true, really. His panel was fantastic too. He talked a lot about, I think he talked a lot about Power Rangers. But like, in that specific scene, his character that he voiced, right? The character that he voiced, he said something around the lines of, "And why do I deserve to get my ass kicked?" And then the character he was talking to, he said, "'Cause you were a Power Ranger!" Oh, God. I mean, they're not wrong. He was a Power Ranger early on in his career. I saw him at 2 cons last year. That's so awesome. That is so awesome. Speaking of, right? Speaking of, conventions, I'm excited to see what voice actors I'll be able to meet next at conventions, at Anime Impulse. I'll definitely have to check out the guest list to see who will be coming. Oh, wait, I just realized something. I didn't do a karaoke stream in May. I didn't do a karaoke stream.
Level complete. Get ready.
I didn't do a karaoke stream. I should schedule one, actually. I should do one because I should actually schedule to do a karaoke stream. But there are actually like
Excellent.
there are actually like a there are actually like a few ideas on what I want the karaoke stream to be. But I want to get your opinion on what I should do. So I'm gonna real quick tab out of this. Wait, actually, I don't think I even need to do that. I can just pull out my mobile devices. My tablet specifically because my phone is like on the other side of the room. I'm gonna make a straw poll. I'm gonna make a straw poll. And I'm going to put it in the chat on what you guys want me to sing for my next karaoke stream. I might do it on Saturday. What should be the next theme for my unarchived karaoke? Okay. All right. Okay. The straw poll has been created, so I'm going to go into my stream on YouTube, and I'm going to post it there. And then once I do that, I will get back to playing. Okay. Alrighty, everybody. Vote up! Oh, I should probably have the... I should probably have the straw pull up to see what the results are gonna be. I do want to do all of these, like, themes at some point, right? But obviously we're gonna do one theme this month. But I do definitely want to do all of these at some point. Also, who's your favorite pedicure fairy? I am a certified candy enjoyer. She's my favorite. She's always been my favorite. Okay, so something I really like about something that I really like about I do have a lot of to say about the English dub of Smile Pretty Cure. But one thing I really like about said English dub is definitely the voice acting. And why I brought up Candy specifically is the fact that, like, in the English dub, from what I've seen, I love that her voice actress was able to make her sound exactly like she did in the original Japanese version, which is very impressive.
More moves.
I wonder if I'm not really sure what the behind the scenes was for it. But I can imagine, like, her being in, like, the audition booth, and they basically told her, okay, do your best Pikachu impression. Because, because of how Candy's voice actress is also very notable for voicing Pikachu. That's weird. Candy isn't well liked in my knowledge. She was even labeled as a scrappy on TV tropes. She's now a base-breaking character. Damn. Also, is Ulrich / Wolfram Tumblr sexy man material? I'd say not really. Who I would consider to be Tumblr sexy man material would be Joker from Smile Pretty Cure specifically, or in Glitter Force known as Rascal. But Wolfram specifically, Wolfram / Ulrich, I feel like he would be more appealing to the furries. I feel like the furries would have the hots for him. That's like me with Pegasus and Yu-Gi-Oh! His English VA sounds a lot like his Japanese VA. Yeah! Yeah, I should probably pin the straw poll. Let me go do that. Okay. The straw poll has been pinned. Go ahead and keep voting if you haven't, okay? Pegasus and Yu-Gi-Oh's English VA sounds a lot like his Japanese VA. That's so cool. That is so cool. Like, I could just imagine, like, her VA being in, like, the audition booth. And they're basically like, okay, do a Pikachu impression. And that was how she ended up making it, probably. But yeah, I really enjoyed Candy. She was like the first, one of the first Pretty Cure mascots that I really got to like, appreciate. I mean, the first Pretty Cure mascots that I was initially exposed to were Coco and Nuts, but like, we don't talk about Coco. Not in this day and age, we don't talk about Coco. If I could name one Pretty Cure season that aged like milk, that aged horribly, it would definitely be Yes Pretty Cure 5. Like, no doubt about it. That's the one season that aged horribly. I'm not sure if it's like the same for Japanese fans, but for English-speaking fans, yeah, it definitely aged horribly for a lot of them. Yeah, like, looking back at it, the relationship dynamic between, Coco and Nozomi just, oh god, it was so weird. It was so weird and gross. Like, back when I was a teenager, back when I was like, back when I was a teenager, I didn't really see any problem with it, cause I thought that, like, Coco was around Nozomi's age. I just thought that, like, he became her teacher because he was, like, some sort of prodigy, cause there was this one anime, I forgot what it was, where it was, like, where this, like, 10-year-old girl became a teacher for a high school, which realistically, that probably wouldn't ever happen because of child labor laws, but I thought it was something similar to that, right? it wasn't until I became a fully grown adult where I found out that it was a grown-ass adult hitting on a 14-year-old. That's weird and gross. What the hell? How was that okay back then? How was that okay? That's crazy. And I can imagine how a lot of, like, new generation Pretty Cure fans feel. Like, how a lot of new generation Pretty Cure fans felt when they started watching that season specifically. Wait, that happened? Jesus, yeah. And I didn't even realize it until I became an adult. I was just like, oh god, that's actually messed up.
Level complete. Get ready.
The votes are currently tied on the straw poll, so if you haven't voted for what you want me to sing in the next karaoke, please do so now.
Good.
Also me calling newer Pretty Cure fans new gen is not me insulting them. Like, I don't gatekeep. Most of the time. Most of the time I don't gatekeep. The only time I do gatekeep is if a minor tries to enter like an adult-oriented fandom, like Has Been Hotel. Cause like Has Been Hotel is not for kids. It is not for kids, and I will die on this hill. Like just because the show is animated, that doesn't mean it's for kids.
Level complete.
I remember I only know of Sweet Pretty Cure because oh god, of course. Yeah, probably not gonna be a Pretty Cure fan, yeah. I mean, it was fairly easy for me to get into back when I was 13 years old, cause like, there were like 10 seasons, and there were only like 10 seasons at the time, and I wasn't really like too overwhelmed, cause like I knew it was like a long running anime franchise.
Excellent.
But like
Excellent.
unlike most long running anime franchises, like for Pretty Cure specifically, there's no like continuation between most other seasons, aside from Yes Pretty Cure 5 Go Go and Futari wa Pretty Cure Max Heart. Those two are the only sequel seasons. But like basically, right? You can watch any Pretty Cure season that you find the most interesting, and like it won't affect like the progress of the story. Each Pretty Cure season tells its own story. And that's what I love about every Pretty Cure season. That's what I love about Pretty Cure. You can watch any season you want and still get a good experience. Like, you don't have to watch every single season in chronological order.
Level complete.
Animation is a medium, not a genre. Yeah.
Get ready.
It's like how I say that gacha games are also a medium and not a genre.
Excellent.
Cause like, yeah, a lot of Japanese mobile games are gacha games. And like the whole like gacha mechanic stuff is like kind of problematic in its own way, but like it's a medium and not a genre. There are like tons and tons of like there are like tons of like different kinds of gacha games out there. Like there are rhythm games that are gacha. There are fighting games that are gacha. There are RPGs that are gacha. There are like literally any genre of video game that you can think of probably has a gacha game for it. I want the main Cure from Star Twinkle Pretty Cure to meet Lucky from Q-Ranger and Kamen Rider Forze. Just to see how annoying all three of them can be. Oh, God. I can imagine how annoying all three of them could be together. LG Smart TVs have their own channels, and one category is animation/kids. No adult-oriented stuff in there, thankfully, but still, yeah. Thank God, cause I wouldn't want to see, I wouldn't want to see more kids, like, I wouldn't want to see more kids, like, flocking to Hazbin Hotel. Because, like, that's weird in itself. A lot of new gen Pretty Cure fans never went through the same mistakes I did in the fandom. The new gen Pretty Cure fans never made the mistake of shipping Coco and Nozomi together, like not knowing the context. And why that ship is cursed to begin with.
Level complete. Get ready.
One of those LG channels is an all Sonic the Hedgehog channel focused on his 90s cartoons. Nice. Does it play the movies on occasion? Or just the 90s cartoons?
No more.
With how successful the speaking of like movie adaptations of video games, speaking of animated adaptations of video games, right? Movie adaptations of video games. The Super Mario Brothers movie from 2023. God, it is so good. Like, a lot of people love to clown on Illumination for, well, you know, the Minions. But personally for me, I hold Illumination in high regards. Because not only did they do the Super Mario Brothers movie super well, in my opinion, like they did it incredibly well. Not only that, but they also made a Super Bowl commercial, like back when they were advertising Despicable Me 4. They made a commercial essentially poking fun at AI generated images. And I think the CEO of Illumination, he has said before that he is against AI generated work because the best productions are always human made. That's what I remember. That's what I remember from what he said. Say anything you want about Illumination, but they knocked Super Mario out of the park. Yeah, exactly. The Mario movie was peaked, but like I was hyped when I saw Mario play Kid Icarus because that meant Kid Icarus Uprising is canon technically. Yeah, it is. So, sorry. Also, another thing that I will say is, Illumination is also responsible for the whole, like, for the whole Tumblr sexy man thing. Because holy crap, when the Lorax movie initially released, right? When the Lorax movie initially released, from Illumination, there were so many Tumblr accounts dedicated to the Onceler, and everybody and their mother was simping over Onceler. And it was just like this whole phenomenon on Tumblr. That voice crack, Hannah turned into shut up. Shut up. Yeah. What the hell?
Level complete. Get ready. Excellent.
Only other Illumination movies I've seen are the first Despicable Me, which was okay, and the Lorax, which isn't great, but not as bad as most will tell you. Ah! I have a confession to make. I watched the Lorax movie, and I liked it. I mean, yeah, it isn't a perfect movie, but like, it isn't a perfect movie, but I personally enjoyed it, especially for how it like, it revolutionized like the Tumblr sphere, and like, yeah. It was revolutionary in the Tumblr sphere, so I give it a lot of respect for that.
Level complete. Get ready. Excellent.
I designed my VTuber avatar to look like a Tumblr sexy man. I even made a Onceler outfit for it. Oh my god. Did you wear that outfit on stream at some point? Did you did you wear it on the stream at some point? I hope you did. Oh my god.
No more moves.
Alright. Fudge! Sorry.
Goodbye.
There we go. That was quite fun. It was fun, talking about... It was really fun talking about stuff like, it was fun talking about cool stuff, with everybody in... Yeah, with everybody in the Zatsujeweled. Yeah, and I really hope that you like my new outfit. I'll see if I can post like a full body, like a full body image of what the avatar looks like in the Discord server. The full body image of what the model looks like on the Discord server. So I hope you join the Discord server to see that. The Discord server should be in the description. And with that out of the way, I will see you guys on Saturday for my unarchived karaoke. Oh, and before I go, I will be putting in a vote on the Discord server for choices, because like the straw poll was left on a tie, so I might as well continue the votes on Discord. So I will see you guys there. Make sure you join the Discord in the link in the description if you haven't already. I'll see you guys next time. Toodles!